Okay, let's talk about my last trip because I'm still not over it. Last month, I decided to visit this small tropical country. My goal was simple: hit the beach, eat some good food, and just chill out. But the moment I stepped off the plane, I felt like I had stumbled into a parallel universe. I'm talking about the Philippines 2.0, but like, the version you'd order from Shopee. It all started at the airport. A huge poster greeted me. "Welcome, experience our warm hospitality, like the Philippines." And I thought, wow, okay, they're not even trying to be subtle about it. The immigration officer smiled, asked where I was from, and when I said, "I'm Filipino," she literally clapped her hands. "Ah, we love Filipinos. We learn English from your telenovelas." Then she asked for a selfie, inside the immigration booth, while stamping my passport. Right then and there, I knew this trip was going to be something else. My hotel was named the Manila Sun Paradise Resort. The rooms had Capiz shell lamps, framed photos of Boracay sunsets, and even a karaoke mic right next to the TV. I had to ask the receptionist, "You guys really like the Philippines, huh?" She smiled proudly and said, "We model our culture after your beautiful country." And guess what happened at 9 p.m.? Karaoke night. Of course. The first guy got up and sang Bakit Pa by Jessa Zaragoza, but in their local language. It was like hearing a parallel universe version of my childhood. Then another man belted out, "My Way." I instantly got nervous because you know the reputation of that song back home. But here? Nothing. Everyone applauded politely, and I just whispered to myself, "Ah, they copied the karaoke, but not the drama." The next day, I knew I had to see their version of a jeepney. They called it the Happy Bus. It was painted like a rainbow, had plastic roosters glued to the hood, and a sign that said, "No exact fare needed, just exact vibes." I climbed in and said, "Bayad po, isa lang." The driver just gave me a blank stare. Turns out, you pay by scanning a QR code. Inside this so-called jeepney, there was an LCD screen showing K-pop videos, a bubblegum-scented air diffuser, and automatic doors. I asked the driver where the conductor was. He said, "Oh, we don't need one. The AI does it." AI? In a jeepney? This country didn't just copy the Philippines. They made a tech startup version of it. The wildest part? There was an onboard karaoke mic, and you could only pay your fare after singing one verse of Tala. I'm not even kidding. For lunch, I decided to try their national dessert. The waiter came over, beaming with pride, and announced, "This is our special Halo Halo." I got so excited until he placed it on the table. It looked like a Halo Halo that went to college abroad and completely forgot its roots. There was no uba, no leech flan. Instead, it had crushed ice, gummy bears, cornflakes, and, get this, pieces of avocado toast. I had to ask, "Where's the lech flan?" He replied, "Oh, we replaced it with protein pudding. It's healthier." I took one bite. It tasted like pure heartbreak. I swear, I could feel Jose Mari-chan shedding a single tear somewhere in the distance. Later that day, I visited their cultural village. They had dancers performing tinikling, but instead of bamboo poles, they were using glowing LED light tubes. And instead of the traditional barong and saya, they were wearing neon crop tops. The host proudly shouted, "Welcome to our modern cultural show inspired by Filipino traditions." I just clapped awkwardly, thinking, somewhere a Lola just fainted. Then came the balut challenge. But here their balut wasn't a fertilized duck egg. It was a regular hard-boiled egg with a baby chick sticker on it. They called it Balut Light. I laughed so hard I almost choked. The host explained, "Yes, we made it vegan-friendly for tourists." And I just had to say it. So basically, you boiled disappointment. On my last day, I met a group of locals who told me, "We want to be the next Philippines." I asked them, "Why?" They said, "Because Filipinos are the happiest people in the world. You have amazing beaches, incredible food, and so much heart." For a second, I was genuinely touched. But then one of them added, "And we also want to export singers to other countries." They immediately launched into their rendition of Anak by Freddie Aguilar. It was completely off-key, but they sang with tears in their eyes. I honestly didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Before heading to the airport, I stopped at their souvenir shop. They were selling miniature jeepneys, knockoff Jollibee plushies called Happy Bee, and t-shirts that said, "It's more fun" in our country, but we got the idea from the Philippines. I asked the shopkeeper if they had anything original. He handed me a mug that said, "Proud to be almost Filipino." I just burst out laughing. This entire country had turned being almost Filipino into its national identity. But you know what? Despite all the hilarious fails and the knockoffs, I kind of admired them. Because in their attempt to be like the Philippines, they ended up highlighting just how special our own culture is. We have a chaos, a charm, and a karaoke spirit that no one can truly replicate. Not with Wi-Fi, QR codes, or protein pudding halo. That night, I went back to the hotel karaoke bar. Someone handed me the mic and said, "Sing something from your homeland." So I picked Puan. The whole crowd sang along, even if they didn't know the words. In that moment, surrounded by people trying so hard to be Filipino, I felt something surprisingly genuine. They might have copied the Philippines, but in doing so, they accidentally captured our best quality, our joy. As I left the stage, a guy shouted, "You come back soon, Kuya! Next time we copy Jollibee!" I just smiled and said, "Sure, just don't forget the gravy." And that's when it hit me. You can copy our food, our music, even our jeepneys, but you can never, ever copy the Filipino soul. That, my friends, is one of a kind. It's an original that no blueprint or imitation can ever recreate. As my plane took off, I just thought to myself, they tried. They really, really tried. But there's only one original. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you won't miss my next adventure. See you in the next video.